welcome to Virtual Tuition, and in this video we're gonna learn verbs. And this video is made for the people who has no time but they'll have to learn all types of verb which are in entire world. So this video is for that type of people. So who don't want who want to check out the all parts of verbs, but in parts type of videos and full deep explanation, they can comment this video. Please please make this verb part playlist, that type of thing, but that's type of thing, like, so blah blah blah. Let's start the video without a delay, and before I start the video, please subscribe, like, share, and comment this video so that I could create more content that you wanted to get start. So let's begin. Action verbs. Action verbs are words that express physical or mental actions. They describe what the subject of a sentence is doing. So action verbs describe the subject, what the subject of a sentence is doing or experiencing. For example, physical actions. She dances gracefully. So dances is the action verb because it's a physical action, okay? And this is a main action, so that this is an action verb because of that, okay? Now, next is mental action. Say things deeply. Action verbs also describe the mental actions like think, like, enjoy. Think, like, and enjoy. So in the mental actions, we can take this example, like thinks. He thinks deeply. So let's move on to the another linking verbs. I hope that you understand action verbs, and now let's move on to the linking verbs. By the way, I'll just clear you. Action verbs describes physical actions and mental actions, okay? And plus experiencing, like in mental actions, experiencing will be added, okay? Now let's move on to the linking verbs and learn it deeply. Linking verbs connect the subject of a sentence to a subject complement, which can be adjective or a noun, providing more information about subjects, state, or condition. Common linking verbs include linking verbs connect. Wait, I will grab a pencil to make you understand really goodly. Nicely. So, linking verb connects subject plus linking verb plus a direct object. What is a direct object? I'll show you in the examples. So let's take the colors to recognize that they are really goodly. Nicely. Why am I using goodly? This is in a phrase or this is in a word also. Why am I using it? I'm such an idiot. So I'll use blue for this subject and pink for the linking verb, and this yellow, brightening yellow. Actually, it glows in the dark. That's why I'm just saying it brightening yellow. So I'll do yellow to the direct object. So let's start with the subject by reading the sentences. Be verbs. Am, is, or. Be verbs are. These are the linking verbs. Be verbs means linking verbs, okay? Now, am, is, or, was, were. And sensory verbs seem, appear, became, become. Now let's make a sentence with these examples. And notice what's the subject. She is the subject. Is the linking verb. Like this. This is the linking verb. And this is also a linking verb. Happy. Happy is a, yes, you're right, direct object. Now you understand what is be verbs. This thing, this sentence. Okay, now let's move on to the another one. Sensory verbs. Okay, wait a minute. So I've told wait a minute because I was thinking, what is a sensory verb? Not searching. So let me tell you, because I've learned everything and I just forget something like, and I need to think. What is sensory verb? We can use sense as a mental action. It means sensory verbs. You can use this like this, okay? Now let's move on and read this sentence. He seems tired. By the way, sensory verbs means which is linking verbs has more, like in the action verbs it have mental actions like, think, like, enjoy. And in the linking verb also describes our 5 senses. And what are those 5 senses, by the way? Mahin is my real name. So I'm gonna write what are these senses, 5 types of senses. Taste, touch, see, hear, and what else? Smell. These are the 5 senses that are inspired by linking verbs. So let's see what is the subject in it. He is the subject. And seems is a linking verb, and tired. By the way, direct object shows what Direct object what shows? Direct object shows what is that subject doing, okay? What subject is doing. Tired is an direct object. Yes, you're right, guys. So let's. I think that you understand linking verbs also nicely. I was about to use goodly again, but I remind myself you're using it again. So let's move on to the auxiliary verbs, who is also known as helping verbs. So let's read this. Auxiliary verbs, also known as helping verbs, are used in conjunction with main verbs to form various tenses and moods. They also express aspects like ability, possibility, necessity, and permission. What it shows is ability, possibility. Helping verb shows these things, okay? Ability, possibility, necessity, and permission. Examples that is included. So, helping verb shows ability, possibility, necessity, and permission. Like, let me show my own example that I'm creating on this part. So, like, someone is permission someone wants to permit me get permitted by me to use this highlighter, and they are using permission, okay? And is there any one like examples that I can explain to my viewers? So, modal verbs. There are next one. By the way, helping verb and linking verb might be like they have similar examples. Am, is, are, was, were, seem, appear, become. These all examples also are there in auxiliary verbs. And if you have a question how to know what is linking verb and what is an auxiliary verb, so auxiliary verbs has a subject and helping verb is before the main verb, and linking verb is before the direct object. See this. Helping verb is before the main verb, and linking verb is before the direct object. So I hope that you know how to know what is direct object, linking verb, and what is auxiliary verb. So let's move on to the examples of helping verbs. So I'm gonna use the same trick here also. I is the subject, am is the helping verb, writing is the main verb. Now she is the subject, will is the helping verb, and go is the main verb. I hope that you understand what is this. Auxiliary verbs, linking verbs, action verbs. Actually, this is a short part of the video. It will complete in one video. I don't know how much time it will take because I'm in the present tense. That's why I cannot know how much time it will take. So I think it will be 1 hour or 40 minutes. So be till the end to understand verbs easily and entertainingly. I know I'm not that much entertaining, but I hope that I will try to enjoy you, plus entertain you and make you study as well. So be till the end. Okay, so we've completed these 3 types of verbs, and let's move on to the another type of verb. And the another type of verb is modal verbs. So I've reached the next type of the verb. So let's see. Let's read this. Modal verbs. Modal verbs express attitudes or moods. I was about to read moods like modal. Modal verbs express attitudes, moods, including possibility, necessity, ability, permission, and obligation. Actually, modal verbs shows some of these same helping verbs like in the previous type of verb. We have seen these 4 things same, but I think this does not change. This cannot be changed in this type of modal verbs. So modal verbs express attitudes, moods, possibilities, necessity, ability, permission, obligation. So this example is based on possibility, no, and this is based on this possibility and ability. That's why I'm writing this as PA, because it's a possibility and ability in one. Now, next, let's see this. He is the subject. Can is the modal verb. And swim is the action verb. So this example shows possibility, ability. Now let's move on to the next one. You must study. So let's see what do we have here. Now, you must study. It shows obligation and necessity. What else? It shows obligation and necessity. So I'm writing it as N. So, you is the subject. Must is the modal verb. Study is the, what is it? Action verb. It because it's a physical action, physical movement. I hope that you understand what is modal verbs. It shows permission, possibility, necessity, ability, obligation, permission, mood, attitudes. So, I hope that you understand what is modal verbs. Let's move on to the next type of verbs, transitive verbs. Transitive verbs are verbs that require a direct object. Transitive verbs require a direct object to complete their meaning. In a sentence with a transitive verb, there is an action that is performed on something or someone. For example, she ate the apple. It means the transitive verbs is saying you that transitive verb requires it needs a direct object to complete its meaning. So I hope that you understand what is transitive verbs. Without direct object, direct transitive verb, direct object. Without direct object, it can complete its meaning. And direct object answers direct object. Something and someone. Actually, I have a full video on transitive verbs, and it is on my playlist of verbs. If you have some time to watch it and know much better about transitive verbs, who is he or she, what it wants, and what it needs, it's in details and deep. So if you want to watch it, I'll give you there will be a playlist on verbs. You can go and watch it, and you can find the title about transitive verbs. Okay, so let's go on our topic. It requires, she ate the apple. She ate the apple. She's the subject, and ate is the transitive verb. What if there will be not any of this apple? What if apple wouldn't be there? So what changes would be in this sentence? She ate. Does it show any kind of sense in this sentence? No, right? It needs direct object, and direct objects answer what? Yes, something and someone. Okay, she ate the apple. Apple is the direct object. You can also see here in the bracket there is a ate what? The apple. So I hope that you understand what is transitive verb. Let's move onto his brother intransitive verb. Intransitive verb is really opposite of the transitive verb. Like transitive verbs need a direct object. But intransitive verbs doesn't require any of the direct object to complete its meaning because it's independent. And transitive verb is dependent on direct object. So let's read this. Intransitive verb. Intransitive verb do not require a direct object to complete their meaning. I have intransitive verb video also on the playlist. If you want to watch this, also it will be there. Direct object to complete their meaning. They describe an action without specifying what the action is done to. For example, he sleeps. No direct object. But something is not written in this paragraph, but I'll show you what is it. Intransitive verb is independent and it can complete its meaning without a direct object. Here you can only see a subject and intransitive verb. But there is no direct object or anything else like nothing. Modal verb like that. There is no action verb or something like that. But intransitive verb have something else, and it is adverb and preposition. It was not on the paragraph, but I've written it that because you should not miss any point in every verb. And if you do not have time or you don't like to watch any of those videos that are in my playlist, so I'm writing it. I'm digging deep into this video only to get you full marks, A plus on your straight A's on your paper. So I'm just digging deep into it. Adverb and preposition is in this intransitive verb, okay? Like he sleeps. Adverb and prepositions are in this, okay? Let me write any of those examples. I'm writing this example here. Wait, I have a book here. Why should I write there? I can write it on here. The book is on the table. Pink is for preposition and yellow is for adverb. So in this first sentence that I wrote, what is in this sentence? It's a preposition because it shows where the book is located. And let's see in the next one. Wait, this is the book is on the table. Book is the transitive verb. Okay, now let me write another one. She runs She runs fast. So now let me show you the differences in these sentences. She runs. It's a complete sentence. Runs is the transitive verb. She is the subject. She is the subject. And runs is the intransitive verb. Fast. Oh, I forgot. Fast is the adverb. Because adverb shows how she runs. So, I hope that you understand what is intransitive verb. So, I've made it clear what is intransitive verb. Let's move on to the next type of verb. Phrasal verbs. Phrasal verbs consist of a main verb combined with one or more particles. Usually prepositions or adverbs. The meaning of phrasal. The meaning of phrasal verb is often idiomatic and may not be deducible from the meanings of its individual parts. Example include: she looked up the word up. So phrasal verbs are like let me write it out to make you so much clear about it. Phrasal verbs is like a combined phrase, not combined word, which is made up of one or more words in it, which they are made up of one or more words, but the words which is combined to make a phrasal verb. They have another meanings in their own world. Like I will show you in the examples, which has different meaning. So I hope that you understand. If you does not understand that I have told you in my own speech, you could stop it or take it for a screenshot and read it so you could be more clear about it. So let me show you what different meanings they have. She is the subject. Looked up. Looked up is the phrasal verb. Look and up. Up is like something upwards, and looked up. Up has a different meaning, and look like seeing something. And if they got connected to each other, they will make another meaning. They will make a specific meaning in their own language in the phrasal verbs. Look up meaning is like rifling something on the internet. I mean, searching something on internet. Like you came on this video searching about all types of verbs in one video, and you found this one, and now you're looking up all of these verbs. So this is like that, okay? Now I hope that you understand what is phrasal verbs, and let's move on to the irregular verbs. By the way, by talking so much, my jawline is seriously broken, I think, because it's hurting so much. So by the way, I don't care about it because pain is gain. So let me cap off this or the ink will be gone. And I had to take the new one. I'll use one. Irregular verbs do not follow the regular pattern for verb conjugation. This is a weird word. Conjugation in different tenses. Their past forms and past participles. Hey, why am I reading this? I already know what I have learned, and I've learned so deeply, so I will write you down and make you learn. I'll be back in a minute. Irregular verbs means which doesn't have, verb 1, verb 2, verb 3. Like play, playing, played. This isn't a regular form. Irregular verb. Irregular verbs means like go, and it doesn't have go like that. It has some goes, going that have it, but go, went. This is also like go, went. It doesn't have any playing or played. Irregular verb means which doesn't have ing or ed in the end of the word, like go. and vented or venting. This can be a sensed sentence or word, right? So this is an irregular verb. See this: go, went, gone, have, had, be, was, were, been. So I hope that you understand what is a regular verb, and let's go to the another type of verb, which is opposite of irregular verbs. So regular verbs follow a predictable pattern for conjugation in different tenses. They typically add ed and ing in the end of the word. Ed to form the past tense and the past participle. For example, talk, talked, talked, play, played, played. So I've shown you what is irregular verbs in the irregular part. I mean irregular verbs. If you don't want, if you wanna, if I wanna repeat it, so I'll repeat it. So regular verbs means which have ing and ed to the end of the word, and that's a regular verb which doesn't have any much effort to think that which verb or word I should use. That's why it have name regular verbs. Do you think I've talked much rubbish? No, right? Yes, right? Did I entertain you? Okay, so I think you understand what is regular verb, so let's move on to the next one. Talk, talked, talked, play, played, played. So we have reached dynamic verbs. Dynamic verbs describe. Hey, why am I reading this again? Dynamic verbs are just similar to the action verbs. So we don't need to practice this. Listen to this. Just understand dynamic verbs are just similar to the action verbs. Plus, it's just action verb again. I don't know why. Stative verbs. Now, stative verbs describe a state or condition rather than an action. They are also known as state verbs. Examples include I love chocolates. So love is the stative verbs. She knows the answer. Knows is the stative verb. Infinite, finite, and non-finite verb are two categories. Okay, stative verbs are the things that happen in our mind, which is mental, which is going on in our mind. Like she knows answer. I love chocolates. I like him or her, but I like him because I'm a girl, not a boy. And what else? I enjoy this food. I enjoyed this food. See, enjoyed is a regular verb because it have an ed in the end of the word. So please notice this type of things, verbs in these sentences, so you will be practicing every time. I hope this tip will help you every time to just don't get freaked out every time and don't waste your time to learn new things. Instead, you can learn new things instead of recapping. So I've just shared this tip to you all. And now, I think that you understand what is state of verbs. I'll just repeat it again to not take it more time, learn new things. So stative verbs is a state of being and which happens in our mind. Okay, state of being, she's beautiful, she's beautiful, she's kind, she's nice to everyone, and he's handsome, and everyone has a crush on him. Handsome, state of being. Beautiful and kind, nice is state of being. And in our mind, love, knows, and knowledge cannot be seen, it's a stative verb. And I hope that you didn't understand blah 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 stative verbs. So let's move on to finite verb. Let's read this. Finite verbs and non-finite verbs are two categories of verbs. So, where were we? Why am I a forgettable person in this world? Two categories of verbs in English that differ. What does differ mean? I don't know what this is. I'll just mark it up to go on Google Translate after this video been made. In their usage and verbs in English, in their usage and functions within sentences. Here's a detailed explanation of both finite verbs. Finite verbs. Verb is a verb form that is used as the main verb in a sentence. Finite verb is a verb form that is used as main verb in the sentence, and it is used as main verb in sentence and indicates the tense, person, and number of subjects. In other words, finite verbs now when an action is taking place. When an action is taking place, and who is performing the action, and who is performing the action. Finite verbs can stand alone as the main verb in a sentence and can change from based where is that form based on the subject, form based on the subject and tense. Here are some key characteristics of finite verbs. They can function as the main verb in a sentence and convey a complete action or state. Form characteristics of finite verbs. They can function as the main verb in the sentence and convey a complete action or state. They change their form to agree with the subject in terms of person, first, second, or third, and number, singular or plural. They indicate the tense of the action, past, present, or future, through conjugation. Example of finite verbs in sentences: she writes beautiful stories. Present tense, third person singular. She writes beautiful stories. Writes, they will travel to Europe next summer. The future tense, third. Writes is a present tense, and they will travel. Will is a future tense. he wrote third person plural. He wrote a letter yesterday. He wrote a letter yesterday. Yesterday described past tense, third person singular. In these examples, write, will travel, and wrote. Hey, wrote is the correct answer. Wrote are finite verbs because they indicate the tense and agree with the subject. Non-finite verbs. A non-finite verb is a verb that from the verb form. So finite verbs describes tenses like past tense, present tense, future tense, and I'll meet you in the next video. Keep stay safe, keep learning, and bye bye. By the way, can you guess in which English accent I'm talking in and comment it down? This is a quiz for you. So bye bye and goodbye. I'll meet you in the next video. So bye.